baby, just watch.
Yes, welcome back to Today's Show. With early predictions, the property market is set to cool in our capital cities. 2016 is shaping up to perhaps finally be the year for first home buyers.
Let's hope so. So if it is your New Year's resolution to turn your property into profit or perhaps put down your very first deposit, listen up. We've got some great advice for you from Domain's chief economist, Dr. Andrew Wilson. Welcome, Andrew.
Thank you, guys.
Let's start in Brisbane. What's the state of play there?
Well, look, a little disappointing last year, Brisbane, but the signs are positive for a better year this year in Brisbane. I think that value aspect, you know, the Brisbane median is half that of the Sydney median.
Yeah.
I think some of those budget suburbs to the north and the south of Brisbane look like getting more buyer activity and prices growth, so good opportunities in Brisbane.
Yep.
And I think it'll finish the year towards the head of the pack, not at the back of the pack.
A lot of room for growth in Brisbane.
Yes.
Brizzy, signs already of the market in Sydney cooling a little bit finally. Is now the time to buy or wait in Sydney?
Well, look, no doubt it's a buyer's market in Sydney at the moment. I think it'll recover towards the middle of the year. Underlying drivers still very strong in Sydney, but first-home buyers, they'll be breathing a sigh of relief.
Yeah.
At last, that prices growth is starting to flatten. And I think it is a good buyer opportunity in some sections of the Sydney market this year, early days.
Still expensive though, isn't it? What about Melbourne? What's going on down
Well, look, a
there?
very even market in Melbourne. Melbourne, I think, is still appeals as the best of the capital city markets. But we've got to look at that apartment market, the inner city apartment market. Clear signs of oversupply there. Everywhere else looks quite positive in that Melbourne market this year. I think it'll end the year at the top of the pack.
Okay.
It's a different market for Adelaide though, isn't it?
Well, look, steady as she goes, Adelaide. You know, even though it has the constraints of the worst performing economy in the nation, prices are still growing there, and I think it'll have another solid year this year. And some of those outer suburbs to the north, I think, will appeal to investors with some capital growth opportunities and higher yields.
Over in the Wild West, my hometown, we've had a sluggish 2015. I think you could probably describe it as, property-wise.
Maybe the bottom of the market.
there?
Well, maybe the bottom of the market now becoming evident in Perth at last. 2 years of falling prices. Maybe it'll end the year this year in the black, but certainly opportunities for change over buyers, change up buyers, particularly closer into the city. But investors still beware of that Perth market. Rents are still falling, vacancy rates still very high.
All right, let's round it off with your top tips for someone hoping to buy in 2016, no matter their location.
Well, I think it's a matter of being positive. I think first home buyers will have a better look into the market this year. Interest rates are likely to remain where they are. So I think confidence will generally be quite even amongst the market. So we're not going to see that roller coaster ride of prices growth, particularly in Melbourne, Sydney, that we've had for the last 2 or 3 years. And that's got to be better news for first home buyers.
Absolutely.
We hope so. Dr. Andrew Wilson, we appreciate your time.
My
Thank you for
pleasure.
joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, next.